All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us on here today. For those of you who don't know me or haven't met me, my name is Chris Papas. I am one of two constituency heads for the Mooi-uMngeni constituency. And this meeting today is a very important one because it marks a big milestone in our race and our fight to win the Mngeni municipality and to grow our footprint in the Mpofana municipality. So we are here to celebrate and here to recognize that milestone with the opening of the Mooi-uMngeni campaign office and campaign headquarters. We are fortunate and privileged to be joined by two very important people in our organization. The first is Mooi-uMngeni, who is our provincial leader here in KZN. And the second person is John Steenhuisen, our federal leader for the Democratic Alliance. But obviously the most important people are our members, activists, and councillors. So thank you very much for joining us today. I see that Greg Krambach, who is my colleague and partner in crime in terms of running the Mooi-uMngeni constituency, is not online unless I've missed him. But I do recall that he had commitments with regards to a tourism meeting. So if he does join us, we will slot him in. He is part of the program, but I will take over in that sense. If I can just say that I've only recently moved to this constituency in terms of being allocated here. I grew up in the area and I went to school here. But the nice thing about being home is realizing that it's nice to be with my people who live like I do, who think like I do, and people who have a passion for their community like I do. And you realize how much you miss home once you come back. So it's really great to be back and working with everyone on here. I want to thank our activists and our councillors for all the hard work that they've been doing over the years and have continued to do. And I'm pretty sure that they all know that there's an uphill battle leading to 2021, but that the opening of this office will really do some big things for us going forward. The office is officially open. Hazel Lake and Gugu are there at the moment for the first shift. A number of you have indicated that you would like to volunteer your time, which is great, and we really appreciate that. And for our councillors who will be on a schedule, they will also be serving the public like they have been doing over the last couple of years. So what I wanted to say was that this office gives us an opportunity to do something that we aren't able to do at the moment. And that is firstly to have a base of operations. And that base of operations really does a lot of things. It allows the members of the public to engage directly with us on a platform that we can't at the moment. And it also provides us with a place where our volunteers can come and be part of our organization. We often work very hard during election campaigns, very close to elections, but then there's all the time in between that we aren't able to operate in terms of running campaigns, and we just focus on service delivery. So what this office does is a place for our members and our activists and members of the public to see the DA on a daily basis and to engage with us, whether it's just to have a cup of coffee and chat or to engage with us on really important matters of service delivery, and myself and Greg for matters of provincial and national importance. So we really are excited about being able to do that. COVID-19 poses a number of challenges for us in terms of how we run that and the number of people that we can have in that office, and other people are not dealing with quite competently at the moment. And I'm sure Hazel, having the first shift of the office being open, is dealing with that quite well. So before I hand over to our guest speakers, I would just like to show you a picture for those of you who haven't been able to see the office. Let me just share this picture so that we can all see. So this is our office. Can we see the screen? That is the office, 62 Main Street. That's opposite the Toyota and next to Howick Travel. We really want to say thank you to the donors who have assisted us with this, giving us a reduced rate, as well as to the whole KZN provincial executive who bought into the idea of having this office in what is the most important constituency in KZN in terms of the DA growing and being able to deliver services like we do in other provinces. This can really be a gem and a jewel in the DA's quiver here in KZN. And this is going to be the base of operations from which we are able to launch our campaigns and engage with that. So please do come in. The office hours are between 9 and 1, Monday to Friday, to engage with us and have a chat with us. Bring in your donations, but it's there. It's a place for all of us to use. And we really encourage you to visit it when you have some time. Let me turn that off. All right. So like I mentioned, we have two guests with us here today. And the first one I'd like to introduce is Mooi-uMngeni. Zwakele is our provincial leader here in KZN and is also a member of the provincial parliament. Zwakele, are you online? I did see you enter.
Yes, I'm here, Chris.
Hi, Zwax. Morning. Nice for you to join us. Thank you very much for being here. Zwax, over to you.
Yeah, morning, Chris. Morning, colleagues. Greetings to our leader, John. Colleagues, this is a very important meeting, and for me, I'm really excited, as Chris has said. It's a first of its kind, where the province actually, despite that there were decisions not to have offices, but we felt it is important to have this office because of the reasons that Chris have alluded to. But I just want to firstly say, yes, indeed, we really looking forward in winning this municipality, but it won't be about us as leaders. And I want to thank every one of you, because where we are today, in terms of the results in Umngeni, it's not only because of us as leaders, it's because of you as activists, councillors, and everyone working on the ground. Because sometimes we normally take praise of results and end up forgetting that we're actually all over. But people who have the ground are the activists, and which is you in this case. So I want to thank you, because we are now at a stage where we believe we can win Umngeni. But there has been people been on the ground for the past 20 years. So it doesn't happen overnight. It's not like we only saw these results increasing in the last elections. It's because it's been steady growth. It's been happening that way because you are on the ground and ensuring that we are working very hard to engage with voters. Hence, as we open the office today, really an office is a space where you're going to be able to meet, but the work will be down the ground. And I have no doubt that you're going to be there working on the ground and obviously meeting in the office to do what needs to be done. But I've been saying office is more like, the votes are more like Corona. You don't get Corona when you stay at home. You don't get votes when you stay at home. So meaning we must do something differently. We must go out and canvass for those votes. So I have no doubt that you colleagues will try to do that. But also I want to thank Chris and Greg for the work they've been doing so far. Again, Mooi-uMngeni is breaking grounds because we have also made history in KZN, where we have allowed 2 political heads to run the constituency. It's one of those decisions that are not easy to make, but in the interest of the party and in the interest of the constituency, and especially in Umngeni, because we felt that the 2 leaders working together really can able to give us what we expect there to win the municipality. They come with different expertise, and I strongly believe that as a leader, a decision we took was the right decision. Obviously, you have to wait for results, but I want to put pressure on them. I don't think they need to be under pressure, but I believe in them, and I have no doubt that they will definitely help us to win this municipality. but they will need all of us. They will need not only provincial leadership, they will need national leadership, and I'm glad John is here for support. They will need a constituency leadership for support. They'll also need members in that constituency for support. So meaning this is not a game to be played by Chris and Greg. It's a game for all of us. So all of us, let's work together in ensuring that we win this municipality. It is possible, but it can only be possible if we work together as a team. I know, Chris, last week we spoke about ANC's division in that municipality, but I can tell you, we can talk about ANC's divisions, but it won't help if us as a DA also are not united. So my appeal to everyone is that let's not only focus in an ANC's divisions, let's ensure also the DA is united. Let's ensure that we work on this fight together as a team. And if we do that, I have no doubt, Chris, that we can really make history in the province. I really believe that one of my vision was to win at least one municipality. Hence, I'm really interested to see us winning this municipality in Umngeni. So thank you, Chris, for the work you've done, and Greg. I'm not sure if Greg is here, but I can see that you guys are really working together. Initially, we were skeptical, not sure how it's going to work, but so far, I'm really happy that you guys are working very well together, and the constituency is supporting what you are doing. So thank you again, Chris. So this is my side, Chris.
Thanks, Rex. Thanks very much for those words. The next speaker that we have is our federal leader, John Steenhuisen. John also has a special message for some of the people who have been working really hard outside of politics. And we have a number of guests here today, as well as some online, who have done some outstanding work in our community. And this is particularly around the COVID response. And John just has a special message for some of them as well. But John, thank you very much for taking the time to be with us here today. I know we wanted to do this in person as well, but we identified Mngungundlovu as a hotspot COVID area, or government has done that. And your office did promise us a physical visit in future as well. So we look forward to that. But over to you. Thanks, John.
Great, Chris, and good morning to everybody, activists, NGOs, people who are joining, and of course, greetings to the provincial leaders, Wakele Mpango. And it's really great to be with all of you today. I would love to have been with you in person. I've always loved coming up to that constituency and seeing all of you, but COVID's had other plans. So I want to start off by saying thank you. Thank you to our activists, to our volunteers, to people who are working hard every single day to drive the party's agenda forward. And I've never been more proud of the party than I have over the course of the last few months. We could have, at the beginning of the coronavirus, sat in a corner and let the ANC get on with it. Instead, we've been proactive, we've been out on the ground, we've been helping communities, we've been feeding people, we've been fighting for people's civil liberties, we've been challenging the corruption and maladministration. And so while COVID-19 in some instances has shown us the worst of South Africa, as people have now moved to profit on the back of other people's misery, and we've seen a daily deluge of corruption and maladministration, it has also brought out the best of South Africa. And so I've been so proud to see our public reps and our activists and our leadership out there making a difference in communities, but most importantly, driving the issues that matter most to the communities. I couldn't think of a better match of talent than Greg Crumbach's incredible years of experience and the enthusiasm, energy, and vigor of someone like Chris Pappas. And of those of you who have not met him in person yet, we'll soon, I've no doubt, meet him. He's not somebody who you can ignore. He is very, very energetic, and I think he's just the dose that that constituency needs to be able to push for that extra 9%. I want to echo what Wakele said. We need to make a breakthrough in KwaZulu-Natal. I would love us to be able to govern a municipality on our own, preferably, but also in the midst of a coalition if necessary. But we must go out there to try and win it on our own, because then we can turn that municipality into a shining city on the hill in KwaZulu-Natal that we'll be able to hold up as an example to the rest of the country and the rest of the province. And so thank you very, very much for the work that's been done. But bear in mind, an office is just bricks and mortar. It takes activism, it takes energy, it takes enthusiasm, and it takes a lot of hard work if we're going to be able to achieve what we want to there. I want to thank particularly some of the NGOs, Matt Hoggerty from the Love, Howick and Mngeni Relief Network, Vonnie and Rob, Carolyn Hancock from Angels Care and her whole team, Judy Riley, the African Spirit team and their people associated with them, Bobby Hoole for his role in the Mngeni Joint Operations Command Committee and for coordinating the relief efforts, Sandra Burning from the Nottingham Road Relief Fund, John Bates, my good friend from the Nottingham Road Relief Fund, Lynn Garbett from the Dargle Conservancy, and Robin Greater's work in action and isolation. It is the work of ordinary South Africans that has been the true story of this COVID crisis, where a government has let people down, failed to, in its most basic duties. It's good South Africans like yourselves that have stepped forward and put your hand up and said, well, if no one's going to help, I'm going to help. It's going to start with me. And that's why we've been on your side as well by going to court to force government to get out of the way of NGOs and CBOs from providing food to hungry people. And we will continue to ensure that you are able to function and do your work well. So the office is now open. The road ahead is clear. It's the journey that starts today. And Chris, to you and your team out there, your activists, your councillors, members of the party, the incredible support we get from so many of the parts of that constituency. This is the final push now. We can do it, and it is in the grasp and reach. Whether we do it or not is going to come down to one thing and one thing only, and that is how many people we can interact with, take issues and drive the issues that matter most to them on the ground. Chris, I want to take this opportunity as well to congratulate you and your team for the excellent work that you're doing around rural safety, particularly. This is a huge issue in that particular constituency and that area. And I don't know why there's been a reluctance in the past to get boots on the ground to deal with it, but I'm really, really proud of the work that's been done around rural safety. But farm workers, farmers, and the like. And really, you guys must keep it up. It's starting to shift hearts and minds. Bearing in mind, we've got to focus on three key things heading into this election. ABC. First, access. We've got to fight for access. Access to housing, access to opportunity, access to work, access to education. That's got to be underpinning what we do. B, we've got to be fighting for better government, building the capable state, not just talking about it, building the capable state, making sure that people have a municipality where they can get services, where when the potholes get filled, that the verges are cut, that the local economy is flourishing. And C, in the ABC, is caring. We've got to show people that we care about their issues, that we're not in this game for ourselves. We're not in this game to get rich off PPE tenders. We're in it because we care about South Africa. We care about the people in South Africa. And it's because we care that we do what we do. And I think if we can get those ABCs right over the next year, we're going to have a cracker of a result. And I look greatly forward to coming to have a bottle of, hopefully by that time, champagne in Mooi-uMngeni to celebrate the incredible result that you guys are going to be doing. Thank you so much, Chris. Thanks to every one of you, and thanks for the work that you're doing. But a special shout out to those NGOs and CBOs that are really stepping into the breach and making the difference every day, often between people eating or not eating. In a country where we now have 47% of households that are food insecure, that children are going hungry around the country, that adults are going hungry around the country, you really are doing the Lord's work on earth, and it is greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks so much, John, and thank you very much for the kind words and recognition of some of the hardest working NGOs, I think, in the whole of KZN that are based here in Mngeni. So thank you to them as well from my side. On our program is an opportunity for people to engage with us and ask some questions. I think we would not want to lose that opportunity having you here as well as Zwakele. So if for those of you who know how this program works, Zoom works, there is a chat section. You can pose your questions in the chat section, or you can raise your hand. There's a raise hand function, and we'll take them that way. I think we've already got one. We've got one from Mike Bond, Councillor Mike Bond. You're on mute, Mike.
Morning, Chris. Thanks. Hello, John. Hello, everybody. Sorry, I'm a bit late in joining. I was on the presiding officer's training, which really makes it difficult for us in the very deep rural areas to communicate with our supporters. But we'll get around that. We'll just have to do the more lengthy and more in-depth preparation. My question is just in the rural areas, and especially in the farming areas, I think if we can have an attitude and run a program where the workers become the protection, the physical protection for the farmers, and the farmers become the tenature security for the workers, and in that way we run a dual thing where the one relies on the other, and we can be the go-between as the trust, as DA representatives. I think that's just something I'd like to put forward. I spoke to Mooi-uMngeni about it, and we're going to try and run that in Pendley.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah,
I
thanks.
don't see anyone else who has a question on the chat or by putting up their hand. For those of you who don't know how to use those two functions, you can unmute yourself and just call out your name, and we can then take your question that way. You can unmute yourself and ask any questions if you do have. All right, so it's just the one comment that we have from Mike so far.
Great, Mark. I think it's a great idea, and I think that we should be looking at innovative ways to do partnership policing. The world, the global example is the more you localize policing and the more of a partnership you make it, the more effective it is. So, one of the big pushes that we're making is for provincialized policing in a far more meaningful way, and even to drill down policing to that level. But the partnership is absolutely essential. I couldn't agree with you more. And I think we must find a way to introduce this model after you've piloted it into the rural safety strategy.
Thanks, John. Just to mention someone who's just joined us, who also, he wasn't on our list of NGOs because he's not an NGO himself, but a very active member of our community and someone who does a lot to support the different initiatives out there, and that's Derek DeSantos. So welcome, Derek, and thank you very much for joining us. We went through a list of NGOs who have been working really hard during COVID-19. You weren't on that list, like I mentioned, you're not an NGO, but you are someone who this community really benefits from having. And thank you for all the hard work that you've been doing, and congratulations on your election to the SPCA committee. So well done on that. I see a question from Hazel.
Thank you, Chris. I just wanted to take the opportunity while we've got activists on the line to just mention the AGM process. Most of our activists would have had an SMS inviting them to AGMs. It's just an appeal to participate because we want to get them done efficiently and get our constituency nicely set up with branch chairs, etc. Thank you.
Thanks, Hazel. And for those of you who are online and are maybe not DA members yet, but are DA supporters, please do sign up membership and get involved in your local branch. It works much the same way as your NGOs or your church structures or whatever it may be. It's just a mechanism for us to be able to engage with each other and officially come up with ideas and strategies and speak about the important things that make our organization work and function. So please do sign up and get involved. If there are no more questions, then let me just double check here, no more questions. Then I think we can close the meeting. But in doing so, is that Robin there behind you, Hazel?
Yeah, that's Robin. He's looking so skinny, he's going to have to jump around in the shower to get wet soon if he carries on losing any more weight.
He's been running around putting up posters for too many years. Robin, sorry, I didn't see that you weren't online separately, but I noticed you in the background. Would you like to do the closing for us? Robin is our Howick branch chairperson, for those of you who don't know him, Robin Holmes.
Thank you, Chris. I'll speak from here. Chris, our ordinary members, activists and volunteers are extremely encouraged by this, but it's to form a launch pad for whatever we're going to do. But quite frankly, I see this more as an embassy. Mike Bond suggested it be called, renamed Freedom House, free Howick from the shackles of bad government, but I would see it as our embassy, because we are going to be inundated with people that are frustrated and at the end of their tether and totally exhausted. Many, many people suffering, all communities of service delivery. And this is our golden opportunity of actually showing them that there is empathy in this office for them. We may not be able to solve every problem, but we certainly can show them the way. And so it's a thanks to everybody, the provincial leadership that allowed this office to happen, and the provincial leadership that allowed you and Greg to be part of our structure. And we're really grateful for that. And I just see that there is going to be some incredible progress, but I would just take one issue. 9%, I think we mustn't focus on 9%. We must focus on 15%, 20%. And if we fail and we only get 11%, well, does it matter? Thank you.
Thanks, Robin. Zwakele already put pressure on us, and now you're giving us even more work, but we'll accept it. Thank you very much for those words. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you to our NGOs. John, thank you very much. Zwakele, thank you too. Thank you to our councillors. And we look forward to seeing everyone in the office with social distancing observed, obviously. And we look forward to having John in person when that is allowed. So thank you very much, everyone, and have a great day.